got laid off today after 10 years.
I told you guys I was let go today after 20 years.
Today, I was laid off at Amazon.
And then I went to Amazon and I worked my literal ass off.
I keep getting job offers that are extremely lowered wages due to them knowing people are desperate.
I got laid off in May. It is now the end of October. Look at all these open tabs. The job hunt right now, you guys. If you got a job, just keep it.
I don't know where I put it. Hey, welcome in, guys. How you doing? If this is your first time here, I'm Jay Cartelli, and if you are returning, welcome back. I appreciate you showing up. Listen, today we're talking about the state of affairs of the economy, the market, and people losing their jobs. It's getting tough out there, especially in the year 2025. With Amazon, which is our second largest employer, just announced 14,000 jobs that they're eliminating, with the executives that are talking about eliminating up to 600,000 positions by the year 2033, okay, because of restructuring, AI, and everything else. It's getting rough. I don't have to tell you. You guys know. I'm sure you feel it. And it kind of almost gives cover to other companies, doesn't it? Like when one of the major companies out there kind of does something like that, then now you start seeing all these other companies follow suit, right? And you got UPS that laid off 48,000. YouTube is taking voluntary buyouts. Chegg has slashed 45% of its workforce, stating AI. We'll get in that later. GM is 1,700 people. Meta, Rivian, Ford, all of them, Tesla, even some, Paramount, all of them has been laying off people like crazy. And that's just in the month of October, not to mention what we've already felt through in 2025. So, with these things happening in the marketplace, it makes you wonder what is truly going on, right? And that's what we're going to look at today, kind of see what kind of get into this a little bit, right? I don't know if you guys remember the property investment guy, Tim Gunner, right? Now, I don't know if you guys remember. I'm going to see if I can pull it up for you, if I can find it here. I'll find it and I'll pull it up. Because you remember what he said. He was talking about how we needed to have 10, 20, 30% unemployment to kind of put us back in our place. I don't know. Let me see if I can find that video.
And we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40, 50% in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer, not the other way around. There's been a systematic change where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them. It's a dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy, which is what the whole global, the world is trying to do. The governments around the world are trying to increase unemployment.
You work for them, right? Not the other way around. See, you've forgotten that, didn't you? I mean, how arrogant can you be to say something like that? Like, oh, you're our slave. You work for us. You should be thankful that we've given you this job. You should be thankful. You should be bowing down and kissing our feet. Did you hear him? All right, that's what I thought. Not to mention the shadow layoffs, right? There's a whole other system in place, guys. It's called the shadow layoff, right? And it's not covered under the Warren Act, right? This is the Warren Act that was passed by the Congress a while back. And under the Warren Act, it states that part-time and contract seasonal type workers, they don't have to be counted, right? You don't have to give them the same rights and benefits as like a regular full-time employee, right? So they may not be counted the same way. And so a lot of companies, to save cost, that's what they do. They'll lay people off. They'll fire people that are full-time or have tenure or been there for a long time, and then they'll hire new people that are contract workers, part-time temporary workers, right? That's not really covered under the Warren Act. So there's a whole shadow thing going on there as well. So let's not forget that, right? So it's no retirement plan, no benefits, no health care package, no nothing. Those contract workers are, self-contract, they're on their own, part-time on your own. You don't get all the same benefits as a full-time employee would. And you save on, the employee sales tax and everything else. So it's a whole thing that corporations do as a cost-cutting measure, right? to boost the bottom line and, raise the stock price, right? Exactly. And that gets you into the whole H1 visa thing, which I should see. So before we get there, when companies do this, they don't really report the real number of the real layoffs, which are normally, I'll show you the normal ones are, let me show you real quick. I'll pull it up for you. So the real number, 13.8 million. All right, that's in 2025. 1.7 just in the month of August of 2025. But the real amount of layoffs and discharges is 13.8. 13.8 million.
Well, Amazon just said, since everybody already knows what we are planning on doing, let's just go ahead and get the process started. So by tomorrow, 30,000 Amazon employees for their corporate office could start receiving letters of layoffs. This represents about 10% of their corporate staff. Now, this company does have 1.55 million associates approximately across their different operational channels, including their warehouses and such. So 30,000 is not a large number, but these are your higher paid Amazon employees. Now, there are questions on whether these layoffs are related to their investments in AI. It costs a lot of money to build up data centers. This could be a simple move to prepare for a holiday that they expect to be subpar. Bezos has been selling down his positional stake within a company significantly over the last few months. So we'll see where this goes. Is this the part of the start of a restructuring with the company? Or is there something else under the hood that we just do not know?
Like I said, like Amazon, for example, they're laying all these people off, a ton of people, and they're claiming that they want to, in their articles, they want to, perform and act like the world's biggest startup, right? And they want to increase efficiency. Last year in 2024, they made $640 billion. I would say that's pretty efficient. And then they also have leaked documents, internal documents that state, that they're eliminating all these people, because of AI, and they want to build and increase their technology, but they're replacing the word AI with advanced technology or efficiency, right? Because they know that the AI word is becoming kind of, what you call it, not very positive word. It's not a very good word, right? As for how people look at it, they're not taking a very good view of it, so they're changing the terminology, so to speak, right? And a lot of these companies and CEOs do that, right? Because let me tell you something, the CEOs, they have a pay structure, and they have golden parachutes and everything else. So their stuff is tied to the stock, right? They get paid in dividends, they also get paid in stocks, and when they can eliminate jobs, that boosts their stock and their ticket stock goes up, the stock goes up, the shareholders are happy, the board's happy, everybody's happy, and the CEO makes a bunch of money because it's all tied together. And every company does this. So if you think they care about you, you're wrong. You're nothing to them. You're replaceable. And with AI coming on, you're going to find out just how replaceable you really are, unfortunately. But let's look at some more examples, guys.
We at Meta, as well as the other companies that are basically working on this, are going to have an AI that can effectively be a sort of mid-level engineer that you have at your company that can write code. And then over time, we'll get to the point where a lot of the code in our apps, and including the AI that we generate, is actually going to be built by AI engineers instead of people engineers.
See, like old Zuckerberg said, I hope, they're betting on an AI future. And that technology is growing fast. It's not 100% proven, but they're already fast tracking layoffs and trying to push this, AGI and, this artificial general intelligence and these agents, and they're trying to replace as many people as they can, and it's like they're not even there yet. They got some time. I mean, it's coming on fast. Don't get me wrong, but that's what they're betting on. They're laying off employees, and they're trying to save money, and all before the holidays, all before they don't care if you got kids, if you got laid off, if you can make your bills. They don't care. They're pushing technology as fast as they can push it. The faster they can push it, the more money they can make, and the faster they can get rid of you. Because, see, you're a liability, like it or not. Sickening, people. Sickening. These companies, corporations, I'm telling you. Anyways, on to the next video.
Oh, second time in a year, almost a year to the day, I got laid off again. Twice in a year. And what the fuck? What is anyone supposed to do? And they said, because of the economy is crap right now, so we're gonna lay off a whole bunch of people again. And I already was struggling so hard, actually low-key, to even keep the current roof over my head. And now I have no idea how I'm even going to get through the next few hours. I just don't understand. But yeah, the economy is shit. America is shit right now. I feel like there's a really big plan for them to, tank this so that we have to rely on other things, other people. It's fucking shit. And I'm quite frankly tired of it. I'm tired of my livelihood being in other people's hands. And I have no idea how to fix that, but I'm going to, because this is just wild. And I'm fucking angry more than I am hurt or sad. I am scared. I have no idea where any of my bills are gonna come from, the money. I'm more angry than anything because I just cannot even believe I used to be able to get a job like the week later if I got laid off.
I got laid off from my corporate job yesterday. And I think that this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now, and it needs to be shared because America is not doing well right now. We have a 94% prediction rate that the recession's gonna come, but yet our frickin' administration hasn't even made the move to actually say that a recession's coming. And let's actually call it what it is, a depression. People can't afford groceries, they can't afford rent, they can't afford buying houses, they can't afford having babies, they can't afford having the kids in general if they already have them. We are not in a good spot, y'all. I know that I'm just a number in a company, but I thought I was okay. You're going to think that you're okay because you've worked there for so long or you have the right experience. Like, you guys, I have an undergraduate in marketing, a master's in business, 6 years of paid social media experience, both on a strategist and manager level. I have done people management for at least 3 years. I'm a senior level in my career. And yet, when I was hired to do a senior level role, I was forced into entry level positions. I was doing entry level work as a senior level strategist, all while at the same time being asked to reduce my workload with AI, and our team was having layoffs every 3 months. I should have seen it coming. I really should have. But the thing is that it was not something that I saw coming, because the day before that they laid me off, I was literally talking coverage plans with another employee who was going on leave for months. How am I supposed to sit there and not think that I'm safe in that moment? I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that we live in a world like this where my manager wasn't even the one that fired me, by the way, or laid me off. It was frickin' HR, and they read off a script, but my whole team got laid off.
Well, the good times keep rolling in corporate. I just saw this Reuters article pop up, and it's all over my news feed now. But U.S. layoffs for October surged to 2 decades high, right? So unemployment numbers, I think 150,000 jobs were eliminated in October. That pushes it. What I think is the real headline is 1 million jobs have been eliminated in 2025. Over 1 million jobs. And guess what? They're not coming back. This isn't an ebb and flow where when the economy picks up and spending goes that they're going to start hiring folks. No way. This layoff strategy has become a drug for these companies, and it's the quickest way to artificially inflate stock price. And guess what? That's tied to C-suite compensation and definitely CEO plans. So this isn't going away.
I need you to understand one thing. if Amazon can cut 14,000 jobs 62 days before Christmas, what makes you think that your job would not cut you? What makes you think your job is safe? Guys, we are living in times where employers don't give a damn about you being a 3-time employee of the month, a 3-time employee of the year, how much brown nosing you do, how much overtime you work, how much sacrificing you did for the company, neglecting your family. They don't care, guys. These jobs only care about the income that they can make for the company. And they're going to pay you as less as possible, but work to get the most out of you to accomplish that. And if they have to cut you to meet those numbers, those analytics, then guess what? Get ready, because they're going to treat you like trash going out on a Friday. Being somebody who know, because that's what happened to me at my job. But not only that, guys, 84 million people are supposed to lose their jobs in 2025 thanks to layoffs and firings. And this should be a clear sign to you that if the big tech companies can lay off people who are making hundreds and $200 an hour, what do you think they'll do for you making $15 to $20 an hour?
There are more layoffs announced in October than in any October since 2003. And we've also hit 1 million layoffs all year. Do you know the last time we had more than 1 million layoffs in a year? 2020. How about before that, Nick? 2008 and 2009. How about before that? 2001. What do all of these things have in common? We are in a deep, deep recession. And the only thing holding any water right now is a bunch of tech companies swapping money repeatedly. Well, most of it's debt, but if you're like me and you're an accountant and you like to look at balance sheets sometimes, you will regret it immediately, because a monkey could look at these balance sheets and see that these companies are full of shit. Sam Altman was asked how a company with only a couple $1 billion in revenue can live up to over $1 trillion in commitments, and he had literally no answer. He was like, okay, sell your share. Most insane shit I've ever heard. Now he wants his company to be a part of government infrastructure. We want even more tax breaks, even more bailouts off of your dollar. And when the whole jig is up, he's gonna get it. We all get blown up and lose our jobs no matter what. Bro, just please give us a little couple more $1 billion for our unproven technology, bro. It'll make me, or I mean everyone, rich, I promise. Everyone will have more jobs. One of the folks who won one of the state level elections in the midterms was somebody who was like very anti-data center. Because data centers don't create jobs. They take up colossal amount of space, waste resources, and they look terrible. So why the fuck would you support having them in your neighborhood? That's what this entire jig is predicated on, and it's up. The jig's up.
I am likely going to get in some trouble for this, but I'm going to go ahead and say this anyway. I caught a clip today from one of my favorite podcasts. I'll link them in the comments. They were chatting with a gentleman named John Lee, and he dropped a bomb. He called the return to office push a quiet layoff. Are you effing kidding me? That hit so hard. I mean, think about it. Think about it for a second. During COVID, many companies massively overhired. Now, instead of cutting loose the talent, they're quietly pressuring people back into offices under the guise of restoring culture. Here's the real kicker. 73% of companies will require employees to be back in the office 3 or more days a week by the end of 2025. That's nearly 3/4 of businesses turning attendance into a subtle form of downsizing, with no official layoffs. Meanwhile, employees are reminded that remote, which, by the way, consistently drives up retention and productivity, is on its way out. Companies are reclaiming control of bodies, not necessarily delivering value. It's a strategic squeeze, not a refocus. This isn't about boosting performance. It's about trimming staff without triggering an HR mess. And if you're hearing more chatter about, oh, we're an in-office culture, than talking about your compensation, that, my friend, could be your warning. So if your company insists you're back 5 days a week, or they're dangling incentives for FaceTime, pause and ask, is this a culture reboot or a quiet exit strategy?
Hi, Trey. How are you?
Hey, Dylan. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm just staying busy. So, yeah.
Nice. Definitely a busy time. I'm okay. Look, Trey, I want to hop right into it. Some unfortunate news to share, but the firm has done some restructuring based on the current market, as well as the advancement of AI and different tools and technologies. And just different areas the firm wants to focus on. It's forced us to eliminate your role here at the firm effective immediately. And I'm here to sort of, help answer any questions you might have about this people I can make connections to help you get back. Feel free to check out like AI apps and get like Prep AI as an example. You and I were chatting about that, right? I apologize for the circumstance, and if you need anything from me, let me know.
Aware of just how bad things are and how bad things have gotten. Like literally this year alone, this is my company's like 4th round of layoffs. So yeah, it's pretty obvious like how bad things are getting in the American economy. No surprise. And yeah, my dad's like, so you guys, like, how's everyone feeling? Is everybody freaking out? And I'm like, I feel like my generation is past the point of freaking out because we've lived through so much shit that we're just like, what are we supposed to do? We literally like can't stop our companies from laying people off. We do our best to get into other markets, but like every single industry is dying right now.
Called for a hearing on this, which I don't think people have been hearing about. It's the threat of AI on our jobs. And there were a number of experts who came and predicted that within the next 10 years, 100 million jobs will be replaced by AI. Right now, there's currently 160 million jobs. Well, more than half would just be gone. And we're not just talking about fast food workers and stuff like that. We're talking about white collar. We're talking about in the medical profession, everywhere. 100 million, which is why there's been this big competitive fight to the top for AI execs like Elon Musk, like Mark Zuckerberg. This is why Peter Thiel put out there that we don't really need humans anymore. And he's a big investor in AI.
I have been struggling to pay all my bills on time. When I first moved into this apartment 5 years ago, that wasn't an issue at all. I feel ashamed sometimes as a man or as a person that I can't come up with the bills. It's frustrating. I Uber every day. Right now it's Wednesday. I drove around from 7 till 11 and made $20.
So I made a post about over a month ago talking about how I was laid off at 50, being at the peak of my career, and thousands of you replied saying you're going through the same thing. They say you're too overqualified. Again, you're not going to be happy here. I even had someone make a comment saying that they went to Trader Joe's to try to get a job and they were denied because they are overqualified.
It's 2025, and the new reality is that people in their mid-50s, late 50s are the new unemployables. It's almost impossible to land another job at your current level. You can almost kiss it goodbye. They can say ageism is illegal all they want. They can make believe that it's kumbaya and we love everybody and we're all equal. And no, it doesn't work like that.
I made a video on my site. I'll link it in here. If you're 50 years or older, I have already made a video about people in my generation and my age that are finding it extremely difficult to get back to work. And if they do find a job, it's part-time or it's half of what they were used to make. So it is tough for everybody out there, especially people in my age group. So if you have a job, you want to hang on to it the best you can, as long as you can, because I'm telling you right now, with everything going on with these companies, they are looking at every avenue and every way possible to get rid of you. And that's a fact. You are the liability. And I'm telling you, it's across the board. But let me show you this, because they are laying off and they are getting rid of people, but they are hiring too. They are hiring people for different positions, jobs and stuff, right? Let me show you this one here. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this one. Let me show you this right here, guys. And look at this here. This is the top U.S. companies increasing H-1B visas. Look at this here. Amazon. Look at that. They just laid off how many? And now they're over 10,000 approvals for 2025. Morgan, Microsoft, Apple, Meta, look at them. All these companies have laid people off. All these companies have laid people off. But yet they're increasing their visas. Their, their H-1 visas, right? So on one hand, you're laying off a bunch of senior people and a bunch of other people that's in different mid-level management positions and engineer positions and things of that nature. But yet there's a lot of good Americans that are college graduates, that are educated, that are smart, that are looking for work, but yet they can't even get a chance. And they apply for hundreds of jobs, can't even get an interview. But yet, hey, let's bring in our foreign workers. Let's increase the H-1 visa. Hey, come on. There's a lot of stuff going on here, guys. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff going on. And you can look at this page here, and I'll show it to you briefly. This right here is a Warren tracker. You can look at all these companies. This is 2025. All the companies in 2025, and all the people they love. And I'll scroll down this. You can scroll this thing forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. This thing will go on forever and ever and ever. All these companies that are laid off people, they've laid off people this year. All these major companies, right? And these are all the different states in the country, all the different layoffs, and it goes on and on and on. I could just scroll this thing forever. All these layoffs, all these companies, all within this year. You know how many records are here? You know how many records are here, guys? 4,609. That's 4,609 companies right here. Right there. That's exactly what that is. So that's a little over 4,600 different companies. And like I said before, with the chart I showed you earlier, 13.8 million, almost 14 million people laid off. The real number. So, regardless of what the news media wants to tell you, regardless of what they want to spend it, how anybody, administrations or anybody else, I don't care, right, left, center, don't matter. You know the real feel. The real feel out there in the real world. You guys know just as well as I do. With the price of insurance, the price of medical, the price of your car payments, the price of your house, you can't even get a house sometimes. Your mortgage or your rent is skyrocketing, your food, every single thing. It seems like when I go to my door handle and I open my front door, I've already lost $200. That's what it feels like. I can't leave the house. Put it in the comments below if you can leave the house without spending money, because I don't think I can. Every time I leave the house, it's costing me money. It's costing me money. Gas or this or that, or whatever. You pay bills. It's costing me money every single time I leave the house. It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. But like I said, it's not, right before the holidays. It's not the best. And I'm sure there's people out there feeling it too. Anyways, with that being said, guys, like I said, it's not a good picture. When you got 10% of the wealthiest people in the world that own 93% of the stock market, like BlackRock and everybody else, everybody's invested. Yeah, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Anyways, that's enough depressing information today. I'm about whipped. All right, guys. I appreciate you coming in. Thanks for showing up. If you found it informative, if you liked the video, do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to reach that 1,000 mark with the subscribers. We're trying to grow the channel and push us out to the algorithm. So if you could do me a favor and sub, man, I would much appreciate that. Analytics say that about 74% of you are not subscribed. So if you do watch the channel, you enjoy it, please subscribe, man. I appreciate it. All right, man. Till next time, guys. Peace out. Later.